Okay, now this is a bit of a spoiler alert that I did actually make it here. So I'm here in St Just in Roseland in Cornwall. And what you're going to see it now is all the footage I shot on the way, every bit of it, unedited it, just one video after the other, right the way to the end. Now, it's a long video, but it gives you an idea of a long trip, what it might have been like to be on such a trip. And I'm sailing by myself, I'm single-handed, I'm non-stop, okay? I have to catch what little sleep I can in the safe pieces of the passage. And all the dangers are there, and all of the conditions from very, very strong wind, rough seas, to calm, becalmed almost, conditions. And things happen on the way. So we saw the dolphins too, but I didn't get much footage for you guys. I'm sorry. Normally I get some footage, but this time no. If you want to see the dolphins, you have to go out there and do it yourself. The dolphins hide away from you otherwise. They won't go in front of the camera if you're not meant to see it. Okay, enough of that. On with the show. Enjoy. Well, we're back in Bromyard now. As you can see, that just fell off. It can come off now. You need to tie your glasses on if you're at sea, otherwise you lose them overboard. I did lose my phone overboard, and so, but everything's fine. I'm here in Bromyard, back in Bromyard. I'm just preparing the video, but I did notice on the video stuff that I made, I didn't really say what this trip is about. And the trip is to move the little boat Sara of North Wales, to move her down to Cornwall in the Falmouth area. And what we're doing is we're sailing from Port Penrhyn, which is in Bangor, just next to Anglesey, and we got two options. We can go left to go through the Menai Straits, or we can go right to go around Anglesey. And the forecast is not good to go right. It's better to go left, but then there's other dangers involved there, and they're probably getting away later. And so the idea is to sail across the island to pick up the better weather on the Irish side, and then over the St George's Channel, and then down the coastal island, and then across over the St George's Channel again to Cornwall, a much longer passage that one. And so to get the boat down permanently, to move the boat to Cornwall so that it's there in time for the road trip that I'm going to make in my little MG car together with my Lady Elizabeth. So that's on the 19th, and there's not much time, and so if I get stuck in Ireland, it's difficult, yeah. I might miss Elizabeth's plane. And I've got to get back from Cornwall by train to my car in Anglesey, and then drive from my car from Anglesey to Herefordshire again. It's a long trip, and I just got back in the middle of the night, absolutely shattered, almost asleep, and I've just woken up now. So it's the end of the trip now, yet what you're going to see is, as I said in the previous video, all the footage that we did of it. Okay, enjoy. Okay, here we got the windy, and you'll see that we've got, if we're over an island on that side of the coast in 10 knots over there, we've got a nice wind on our side if we're heading south, okay. But if you have a look over here, if we come this way, we'll be ended up having to sail into the wind on this lee shore here, and so it's not good to be round here this day. I feel I'd rather be on this side. Now if you come back to Tuesday, okay, this is a situation at Carnarvon Bar, okay, and so you'll see it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm going in a little bit later than that, 10 o'clock. You see 10 o'clock when they put me in, we've actually got, so look how strong that is, you've got 16 knots of wind straight into the mouth. You don't want to be anywhere near it there. You don't want to be dealing with that. So if you have a look a little bit later, so they'll put me in. I've got to work my way down the Menai Straits here through the Swellies and then out the mouth. By the time I get there, it'll probably be, well, here's midday. Okay, it's still 16 knots. If we get up to just before that, okay, now you'll see just before the wind shifts around about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, the wind shifts, and we've got 12 knots here, and it's on a good angle for heading. We can head out this way like this, hopefully on this, and then it goes more the other way, you see. And so we've got nice, it strengthens up. So after we get out the bar, hopefully it's strengthening up and we can get straight across here and so on. And at midnight, same sort of story and so on. And they're just turning around the other way later on. And so, you know, if we're on this side by then, come on island, where are you? Okay, if we can get far enough over here, you'll see as time goes on. So we end up in this light airs here, and then we can be heading down here in the lee of the shore here and out of the stronger winds. Ideal sailing in a man of the boat would be a good break to 10 knots. 10 knots of wind is beautiful in this boat, and that's the idea. Okay. We're ready to go. I've got a new gear arrangement which I had a lot of difficulty. It's quite hard changing gear leaning back there, and so I've got this pipe here which I can now just pull into forward and reverse gear and get it like a remote, but without all the complexity. Okay, well, nearly ready for the off. Half a day to go. Well, we were planning to go left, but when we got here we went right. They always say it's better to follow the wind, right? And so we're nearly at Puffin Island. So it's been blowing like crazy, 15 to 20 knots in the strait here. So we're just going to head out. There's where we come from. From this part forward in the video, the microphone broke off as the camera was thrown all over the place in the saloon, so the sound is really bad for the whole rest of the picture. Sorry, I did the best I could. See, it's pretty rough out here. It's over 20 knots. It funnels through here between the Isle of Man and the Anglesey, and about in the middle, north of Anglesey, heading towards Ireland. I'm probably heading directly for Dublin at the moment.
and there's not much you can do but just hang on. And the steering is just holding, and the boat is just finding its own line. I can't really sail any other direction, it's just the way it wants to go. So we're doing 7.48 knots, 8.1 knots. We've got a lot of current as well, we're in the current. So we're going like really fast towards Ireland. We just have to put up with this for quite a lot of hours, and then it should calm off a bit later on. It's supposed to shift, it's nearly half past 1 now. At 3 o'clock it's supposed to shift more northerly, and so we'll see what happens then. Okay. Well, you can see we changed tack as the wind is just kind of starting to veer, may go north, and so at the moment we're sailing, you can see, probably directly to Arklow at the moment, and we're just going to get round Anglesey, which is the idea. So that's why I went so far north, just in case the winds change and they end up too close to it. Okay. Yeah, it's calmed off out here now a little bit. We really should take the reef out, but we're not going to. It could get strong, it could just be changing to northerly and then coming south. So I'm just going to leave it at this for a moment. We put the genoa out a bit more, so we get a little bit more. The trouble with the genoa is if you put the genoa with the reefed mainsail, it unbalances the boat a little bit. Okay. Well, the sun's sort of going down, and we're not going anywhere. We're off of Anglesey, and the currents are so strong here. It's like we're going backwards. Or we're staying in one place, even though we're sailing stuff out, we're staying in one place, or going backwards. I don't know if you can see Anglesey over there. Oops, I might focus. It's pretty rough out here. Although the wind has died down a bit. Yeah, the wind has died down a bit. It's been gusting 30 at times, and at the moment we've got pretty much a steady 10 to 12 knots, I'd say. But we're not going very fast because I've got the reef in the sail and I don't want to take it out, because I already put the head sail reef out. I thought, well, get the head sail working at least, and then it suddenly blew up, and it was so difficult to reef the sail with the pressure of the wind. And I was scared that the sail might rip to shreds. So I'm reluctant to let the head sail out. It's a genoa, I'm reluctant to let it out too much. I've got it out quite a bit now. It's just giving us a bit more power just to hold us. It's not holding us, we're doing 1 knot backwards. We'll have to sit here for 3 hours until the current goes. And the current makes the waters here so rough. That's the problem, is the wind and current working together to make this terrible pea soup here. Everything's just all over the place. Stuff's moving that's never moved in its life before. So I've got a load of stuff that I need to do to sort this boat out again. I thought I'd sorted it, but it's so strong and so healed over that everything's just falling out, even when it wasn't falling out last time. So I'm going to have to make new arrangements. Okay. with something to do. We're going to have to sail all through the night, and we're not going to get very far either. So it's going to be a long, hard sail to Arklow. Finally ship shape, everything was all over the floor. It's very difficult to move around on this boat, but it's calming down a little bit, so still difficult to move around, but enough to clean everything up. Try to anyway. And so we're right in the we're 20 miles, 25 miles offshore of Ireland, off of Arklow, and we're in the current stopping us going again. But we made good progress down the channel, and we're still able to head in a southerly, southwesterly direction. And so we're getting down the coast, but we're just a little bit too far offshore, and I don't want to tack just yet. Maybe it'll calm down a bit later on and I'll tack then, and we'll head across to the shore then. The current's changing in about 3 hours time. The current will be going, maybe 4, the current will be going in a southerly direction down the coast, so we should be making good progress then. Okay. Well, I forgot to say that it's actually the next day now. We've had the whole night. My God, ships in the night. But I did a much better job of dealing with the ships this time than I've ever done before, I think. Didn't pick up, the AIS wasn't working, so I flagged that away and just used visuals and finally determine which way the boats were moving in the night. It's very difficult. And they have so many lights you cannot see whether they've got a red light or a green light. They've got all these white lights everywhere. It's very confusing, and of course they don't use the lights anymore. They look at the AIS system. So, I did manage to get some sleep. I got through the shipping lanes. I had to dodge a few ships in the shipping lanes. And after I'd cleared the shipping lanes, I was so tired. We were going hell for leather eventually at about 8 knots, 7 to 8 knots. And I just everything went everywhere, and I just got downstairs, covered myself up, and lay in a corner, and just slept through it. I got up every now and again to check for ships, but there's nothing. And then in the end, I thought, they're going to see me. They're going to get out of my way. I have to lie down. And so I did that until the morning. There's nothing out here. There's no traffic out here. The main traffic is going between Holyhead and Dublin. So not too bad out here. And the channel is very rough with the currents. The currents make very, very rough seas, and it'd be much. I think it might be better closer inshore, but I'm not sure. There's current signs all around the coast of Ireland, so there's probably plenty of currents there too. Okay, we don't know where. We might just carry on. We might just carry on non-stop. I don't know. If I pull in somewhere, I'm just going to put the anchor down. What's the point? I need to get to Cornwall. Okay, see you. Well, you can see we've tacked now, and we're heading in a kind of a northwest direction. Just getting a bit north so that when the current changes we can head over to Arklow. I think we must be going there. And it's interesting how things work out. I had the fuel tank and the generator all come flying out with all the action last night, and you'll see that the generator I moved inside, and wow, what a boon this is. I can use it as a footrest to stand on, to put my feet on, and if these doors want to fly open like it did, or this door here, I can put it up against the door on the other tack and yeah, use it. It's a very useful stop. It's funny how things work out. And I had a terrible fuel was leaking. It was heeled over too much out of our fuel tank over there. Here we go. So I put the fuel tank down below now. So, if it tilts over on one side, it leaks, and so I've got the side that tips over on the right side. I have to move it every time. If it tips worse, I'm going to have to move it to the other side. But all these issues. Never did this fuel tank move before, but I put some new rubbers underneath it, and it was a different type of rubber to stop it moving, and as soon as it leaked petrol, it just dissolved the glue and all those rubbers just came off. And there's nothing more slippery. You get it on your shoes and everything. It's really dangerous to have that that stuff on your shoes. Yeah, can we see us now? I hope it's not going to go sliding all over the place. So yeah, I'm going to sit up on the footstool of the generator. This is alright, it's solid, it's not going anywhere, and I've got a new seat that I can sit and watch the ocean in when it's rocky. It's actually calmed down a little bit now. It's been terrible out here. I don't recommend sailing the St George's Channel. They say it's the worst piece of water in the whole of the British Isles. And I haven't been all over the British Isles, but it's the worst water I've ever been in, that's for sure. And I think the conditions were worse. Let me just shut this down. The conditions were worse than when I was heading for that lighthouse, but that lighthouse was just like gusting. this is like continuous, you know, really strong wind. And yeah, and I'm reefed. I've got fully reefed, and that does make a difference is whether you can actually stay alive and point the boat in any kind of direction. But it's very difficult if you get too much head sail out. Oh, it's no good. And then to get the head sail in, you know, to reef it in very, very strong winds is so difficult. So difficult. And if you let go of the sheet to do it, the sail can rip itself to pieces. So I don't like the system, and I can see why people who had this roller boom furling, they don't use it. They all go back to slab reefing, because I can imagine the difficulty trying to deal with the mainsail and the track. Roller on one end, I don't know. Probably breaking on you, not enough leverage. So difficult. It's all a matter of timing, I feel. Because I'm a weak person, if I have to manhandle something, it's difficult. So when I get a lull in the proceedings, then I change tack. And this is the first time on this trip that I've successfully changed tack. Now, I did it once before, sorry. I used the same technique too. But this time it wouldn't go through. Whoa. Yeah. You can see it's a bit roly-poly. So it wouldn't go through, but I backed the jib off enough so that it kind of pushed it around. It's the first time I've successfully done that. Normally it doesn't make any difference in my boat. It's obviously got to carefully loosen the jib as you back it. I'm not really a sailor. I just have to do this for some reason. I don't know why. Thanks for watching. Quite nicely now, heading straight to Ireland, directly to Arklow. I don't know, is it Arklow? Yeah, Arklow. I'm not sure where I'm going to stop. Arklow, but Arklow isn't really talked about much in my guide. There's another place, it's like the mouth, it's just after Wexford, there's a place called Roseland. Roseland. It looks like quite a nice little place to stop. Just on the corner, protected from the westerlies and the southerlies, southwesterlies and so on. So, probably quite good. And it looks like we're going to head into either some rain or some stronger winds. So we're getting ready for that rain. A bit warmer clothes on. Just to keep warm. And it's nice with the sun out, but it's still chillier. This time of year in June, it's just surprising, really. It is so cold out here. The hands, you almost need gloves. You wouldn't think so, would you, in June? And if you get out in the wind there, the wind is pretty chilly. So everything's kind of orderly. Everything's shipshape. And we're heading for Ireland. We're about 20 nautical miles offshore. Okay. You can see the currents actually pulling us round We don't need to change tack, we'll just carry on as we are. Well, we're 15 nautical miles just off Arklow, and there's a ship over there, and there's a wind farm in the way. All sorts of difficulties getting across there into Arklow. And so at the moment the current's just changed, and I'm doing probably about 2.5 knots on the sail, and I'm pointing, I suppose, southwest, but it says I'm going 1.5 knots northwest in the current. So we don't know. That's taken us into Arklow, and I don't know, see how everything changes around, but I've got to get through the night, and so I need a good spot to be pointing in a direction. You see we're heading right to Arklow, even though I'm pointing the other way. So, but we're not going very fast, and it's good at night to be going slowly, fighting the current and stuck in one place. And this is a good area here. No big ships are going to come sailing around here, where there's this bank here that they won't like getting near here, and the wind farm and everything. So I'm going to hang around probably. Well, I'm not going to get far anyway overnight in this current, and the wind, I'm not travelling very fast, but it's changing northwest, so the wind's very favourable to be going south to Falmouth. The wind is all northwest, so if I just carry on, we'll just see where we end up tomorrow morning. Night's coming. We'll see where we're heading. Just going down the coast. See how far we get. The current's going to turn around soon, and then we'll be doing 6 knots. Morning, and we're off Wexford. We're just on the corner really, and heading directly south. You can see here where we come from. We sailed all through the night. Currently doing 2.2 knots. against the current, so that should pick up to 6 knots when we start going with the current. So we're doing okay. Things should check down below. We'll make our second morning coffee now. Keeping our eye on our course inside while we make our coffee. It's not often it's this steady, the boat, so it's good to get the coffee done while it's like this. We're a bit short-handed on the water there. Milk's always difficult. Well, we had to do 2 course corrections from inside the cabin while we were doing that. I'm going to go outside now and make it better. Not too terrible. Yeah, sorting yourself out now. Okay, not a bad system. It holds its course most of the time. Just depends on the point of sailing. This point of sailing is not that great actually, as you can see. Anyway, here we go. Well, it's pretty calm at the moment, so we're having bacon, egg and chips. Beautiful out there. What a lovely day. It's good to cross the shipping lanes at this time of the day. At night, the main shipping line running across here. Well, we're motoring just to get out of this, around this corner here. Let's get around that corner there on the motor. Then we've got more choice of where to point. And it's good to get the motor up and going again. It's running on the paraffin, not missing a beat. Under sail now, the motor's off, and we're pulling a line directly for Cornwall at full sail, 4 knots at the moment. Okay, here we go. Getting inside, it's windy out here, it's cold and chilly. See you later. Dolphins are here somewhere. Well, it's nice to see the dolphins. There was quite a lot of them, but they're difficult to film. There's very short, sharp chop swell, and they're surfing. They're not surfing with the boat because they've got all these really nice swells to surf. So they're surfing the swells and moving across the back of the boat with the swells. Oh! I don't know if you got that. Oh, it's just over there, right out there. One jumped right out of the water. I don't know if you'll see any. No. No, it's when you start talking about them they appear. I thought they'd all gone. There's quite a lot of them out here. It must be a big pod. The conditions are very choppy. Yeah, the St George's Channel really dodgy, and it must be the currents. Wind against tide makes a very short, sharp chop. And I suppose, well, it's calmed it off a little bit. I suppose it was about maybe 15, 18 knots earlier on. Now it's, I don't know, a little bit less, not much less. The white caps seem to have gone. Well, there's a few white caps, not like solid white caps like it was earlier. All the systems seem to be coping. I'm glad I've got the generator inside, don't have to worry about that. That's keeping the door shut nicely. And I don't know about the petrol tank. I think I might try and eliminate the petrol tank completely and reclaim the back of the boat, because it's a bit of a nuisance article really. And I could just plumb it into the boat's main tank. We'll see. And I don't like that petrol thing swaying on the back rail either. Don't like that. But that was what was left over. I'd bought too much fuel and so I didn't want to throw it away. We're having a little experiment of what's involved with carrying fuel on board. And let's see how we get on with that. I did actually use the motor, as you saw. So if you do need to go for many miles, you can get through a bit of fuel. But it's always good to have a bit of spare on hand. We've got We've come about 25 miles offshore and it's 125, 130 miles, so we'll be going for the next 24 hours probably. There's no ships out here, but that could change. So keep an eye out tonight. I'm hoping to be able to stay up for most of the night while we're in the middle of the channel. And if it looks like there's no ships around, I might be able to get a bit of shut-eye. If the ship's coming through, I'm going to have to watch it. It's 5 o'clock. Well, it's 9:30 and it's the next day. We've travelled all night and we're fairly close now to, we're getting close. You can see where we are there. So we're about 35 miles away from the point there. We have to go round because the tankers, we're going to come around here and go right round. Stay away from the tankers. And it's a bit of a difficult point of sailing for this boat. The sea's lumpy and the wind is, well, moderate, I suppose. We have enough wind, we won't want any more. It's doing alright. If I get out and steer with the tiller, it works well, but the wheel steering at this angle is not that great. It kind of goes off course quite a bit, so I'm going to have to make some repairs to that when we get in port, but at the moment we'll be alright, as long as it doesn't rain, which it looks like it's cleared up. It was a bit wet out there this morning, and so it's okay if we can sit on the helm. I don't mind holding course for most of the day if I have to, but at the moment we're holding steady and it should be okay. Okay, so that's a bit of a log of the Sara of North Wales for this morning. I hope you're enjoying watching. Thanks for watching. Well, the wind's slackened off now and we're doing 3.6 knots. Everything's a bit calm, so we're going to try and make a bit of bacon and eggs at this point in the day before the wind comes up again. We're heading towards the Scilly Isles. The boat just seems to want to go there. Put the camera here. Find a way of propping it up. Like there isn't enough to hold it. Yeah, so we've been sailing straight down this way for a long time now. It takes a long time to get through 40 nautical miles. Of course it's 4 knots. We're doing 4 knots right now, 4.7, 3.8. It takes 10 hours to do 40 miles, and so we don't get anywhere fast. But if you go to sleep and wake up 10 hours later, you've covered 40 miles. So you have to be a bit careful about where you position yourself in the evening. So there's actually a tanker route through this gap here between the Scilly Isles and Cornwall. And so I'm avoiding going through there. And I'm hoping to get to the Scilly Isles. We should be there by about 6 o'clock, 6:30, and therefore able to set another course, decide where that course is going to be. We can actually lay directly, we can sail directly east at that point if we want to. Pretty much lay a course that way, which will take us across the shipping channels, but we have to cross them anyway. Or we can decide to head out, or we can cross the shipping channels and then head out. So what we don't want to be doing is be becalmed in the middle of the shipping channels. That's not something that we want to be doing. So at this point I'm not going to make a decision, because my decision is to head to the Scilly Isles at this point. And that's enough of a decision to make. Anything can happen between now and then. At the moment the wind is moderate and we're making good passage, probably averaging about between 4 and 5 knots at the moment. And the boat likes to sail on this angle to the wind. If I take it off this angle and sail more on the beam, then what happens is its steering gets a bit confused. If we actually get a strong wind, it'll head up into the wind, and then it'll end up sailing in completely 45 degrees to what we've chosen our course. But it will hold that course, yeah. It won't sail up into the wind, and so it's quite a useful autopilot position of sail that, to have it, you know, just heading into wind, enough for it to be steady in its course. Okay, just a bit of an update. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and well, we're probably going to make St Just of Roseland sometime tomorrow. So we're going to be all night tonight sailing, and then probably all day tomorrow to get into St Just in the afternoon. That's my prediction. We'll see how that turns out in the end. Okay, thanks for watching. Just a slight touch, we're off course like that. You can only go straight down, or it wants to go this way. For it then. Idea what's involved in this well, the sun's come out as we approach the Scilly Isles. The Ahead of us in the dark clouds ahead of us. Somewhere out there is the Scilly Isles. And it's good to get past them in the daytime, not have to pass them at night. Quite nice at the moment. Well, we're sailing downwind now, and it's not easy in this boat. I had a preventer rig, but it didn't really work. And then I tried to goose wing the thing, and the goose wing end fell off. So that didn't work very well. I'm just going to have to watch it all the time because it just goes all over the place. You really got to steer the thing. So we might have to be steering all night at this rate, or until we get too tired, and then we'll just head off, maybe heave to, just heave to I think, eventually. Heave to and go where we go. We'll probably end up on that, there's a shoal. Nobody's going to drive over the shoal, so you could park up on the shoal there. Very quiet. Still doing 4 knots, but I think it might just be current, most of it. You never can tell. The wind always feels less when you're going downwind than what you might think it is. But anyway, we've missed these rocks here. It's the main thing. And now we've taken a line. I don't think it matters about the shoal here, but well, we'll see. But really, you want to come along here and then around the corner. It's going to take us all night and all day tomorrow, probably. We'll see. We had a very, very difficult night. The wind was directly behind us and it kept jibing, and it was pitch black. I couldn't see anything, and I had to stay on the helm all the time. There was no way I could leave the helm, and so in the end I just got so tired. About 3 o'clock this morning I just hove to and went and lay down and went to sleep for a bit. And the boat just stayed where it was on that spot, over to. Didn't move really. It was a good place, out of the way of the traffic. And then when I got up this morning, the wind had just shifted just a few degrees, enough so that I've now managed to rig the boat up so it can sail under its self-steering, only just. So thank goodness for that. But yeah, steering herself, only just. Well, you can see the coast of Cornwall over there. This is the last corner before we get to Falmouth, and so just going to get around here. It's always the same. The last bit's always the hardest bit. Well, the sun is shining. It's sailing well now. in Roseland, St Just pool. Well, we're anchored in St Just in Roseland. What a calm place this is. Calm, flat. At the moment, well, ever since I got here. There's all the boats. Well, you can see we've got the dinghy in the water. Its little solar panel on the top, looking quite nice. I already went to the dock. It's quite a long way. On the shore over there. Let's look at the beach. Quite a way down there, and there's a little jetty you can dock against. And I went and visited the churchyard. And yeah, what a great place it is. I'm not going to show you pictures of it because that's for another time. I had a look around the different places the boats are, and it's absolutely perfect for me. There's nobody around except one or two people messing around in boats, and everybody I spoke to was really nice and helpful. And so I went there on the electric motor, came back on the electric motor, and we still had charge left in the battery, so the system is looking good for these little short trips. Hope it carries on like that. Well, it did seem a little bit weak. Might need the bigger battery. We'll see. Now, what I didn't tell you was that just right before I came here, just before I arrived, I was filming with the camera, and I wanted to send an email or text message to Elizabeth. And oh no, it wasn't Elizabeth, it was Stephen actually. I was going to send a text message to Stephen, and I'll just hold the phone out to do the text message like this, and the next minute the boom went silently across my head, and the rope of the main sheet just went king like this, and the phone went ping, and just sort of watched it sail overboard into the ocean. No phone. So I thought, oh yeah, this is interesting. It was almost like an act of God, you know. I kind of watched it happen and stuff. If my hand had been in any other position, doing it any other way, holding it any other way, it could never have happened. It was just a perfect position just to throw it into the water. So I kind of figured it was meant to be, to give people a little bit of a test. You know, I say it's going to be a few days. You know, you don't go calling the search and rescue out for no reason at all. But I think it's actually the biggest test is for Stephen, really. But we'll see what he does, because, you know, I could have not made it back. I only just made it back. It was like oh, the sun was really going just about set when I put my anchor down. And I could have easily pulled in somewhere else on the coast, spent the night there, and then had trouble getting out without cell phone coverage and got stuck. So, you know, you could be without cell phone coverage for quite a few days before you managed to get into where you needed to be. So, bearing that in mind, I know Elizabeth worries a lot, so I did manage to find some people this morning and sent her, all I could remember, because when you lose your phone, you lose all your content, you lose everything. But I could remember Elizabeth's email address. I think I spelled it right, I hope. And I managed to send her an email message just to say, I'm alright, don't worry about me. But the rest of the yachties, I haven't been able to contact because, well, I need the email, I need their addresses and stuff, so I'm going to have to get internet access, do anything about that, and to be able to access my computer and everything. So, and it's Sunday, so there's nothing I can do until this place opens tomorrow. So I hope they don't call the search and rescue out, but if they do, well, I need to call Falmouth probably and just let them know that there might be a few silly people who want to help me to rescue me because my phone went overboard. I did try to get a spare, I've got spare phones but I haven't got a spare SIM card, and I did try to get a spare SIM card, but they won't give it to you. No, why not? I said, look, it's dangerous not to have one of these things. No, these little rules and regulations that nobody's really thought through to the nth degree. It's so lovely here. It's nice to be floating in the ocean. It's great to be, I feel it's home. I met some really nice people, and I'm going to go to shore again and mess around and see how the battery holds up on the little sailing boat out there with its solar panel on now. It's been charging in the sun for a few hours. I've had my bacon and eggs. I've watched some of my videos back. It's not the greatest videos, I'm afraid, but it's difficult single-handed sailing, and then my microphone broke off its stand, so all the sound's bad. Yeah, because I had to use the mic inside the camera, but it was so bad seas, man, everything just, the camera just tippled over onto the floor, smashed the microphone off. You know, it's just, what can you do? These are the trials and tribulations of sailing on the ocean. That's the last of it. I'm going to finish up the videos and I'm just going to put them all together and you can make do with whatever there. I hope you enjoy it. It's probably quite a long video. To give you an idea of what this kind of a trip's like, it took me from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'm here. 5 days to get here. This is my 6th day, just getting sort of settled down. And so 6 days really. That's about what it is. That's probably a shorter trip as you could make, going from Port Penrhyn to St Just of Roseland. I think it wasn't easy to get into Falmouth. You know, I had to zigzag. I didn't record it. It wasn't easy. And a few things broke too, but that's for another story. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.